Hi lovelies, Lauren here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be taking you through a little wind down yoga practice. So whether you've had a long day at work, maybe it's been one of those weeks, months, even a year, I'm going to be taking you through some really lovely gentle stretches today. And I highly encourage you to have a couple of blocks, cushions, grab all your cozy blankets, cozy jumpers, whatever you need to just help you really settle and wind down after perhaps it's been one of those days. Okay, we're going to start with a little bit of meditation and breath work. So come and join me in a supported hero pose. So you can use your blocks for this or cushions, maybe you even have a bolster that would work absolutely fine as well. And you're going to aim to bring the knees together and your sit bones down onto your props, aiming to have the tops of the feet down and towards the mat and the heels somewhere on kind of the outside of your hips. And then once you've found your place here and you are comfortable, you're settled, placing the palms of the hands down on the thighs, soften those shoulders down and away from those ears. Let's gently start to bring the eyes to a close if they're not already. Settling into this space. Just letting everything else fade away. Let the world around you fade away. And just begin to check in. Notice how your body is feeling. Where is your mind at today? How is your breath feeling? And as you do that, perhaps just taking a couple of slow, gentle inhales in through the nose. Soft sighs out through the mouth. Beautiful. And just keep that going as many times as you need. And especially as you take that exhale, feel the shoulders slide even further down the back. Almost like that weight is literally falling away from your shoulders. Maybe we feel a little bit lighter here. And then for our little bit of breath work today, on your next inhale, I invite you to take 4 tiny little sips of air in. So little sips of air for 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a full exhalation, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll repeat that again for you. So little sips of air, 1, 2, 3, 4. Full exhalation, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just keep that going for me. Counting your breaths in your mind. And over time, you might like to drop the number down to 3, or maybe increase the number to 5, maybe even 6. But take your time as you're taking those little sips of air in. You're taking in only that what you need, nothing more, nothing less. And as you take that lovely breath out, again, imagine yourself just letting go of any worries, pressures, tension. Let them just slide away from you. Fading into the background, letting go of any unnecessary stuff, any extra baggage we may have been holding on to. And as you continue to focus on your breath, perhaps just noticing where you are feeling your breath most. Is it in your nose, your throat, your chest, your belly, perhaps? Just noticing wherever it may be. And then just listening out for any little messages, any little signs your breath may have to give you. It might be a message of reassurance. It might feel comforting perhaps as you just sit here and observe the breath. So let's stay here for a few more moments, sinking into this pattern with your breath and just letting it speak to you, letting it guide you from one moment to the next. Perhaps taking a few more rounds here, those little sips of breath in and those full exhalations out. Perhaps coming into your final round now. And then once you've finished your final round, just take a lovely full breath in through the nose and sigh out through the mouth. Maybe you repeat that a couple of times, and as you do so, feel free to bring in a little bit of movement into the head and neck, maybe the shoulders, circling the shoulders a couple of times, entirely your choice here. And then feel free to keep the eyes closed, or maybe you start to flutter the eyelids open again and welcome yourselves back into your little yoga space. And then gently sending the hands out in front, bringing a little bit of weight into the hands as you lift your sit bones away from whatever prop you are using. And you can gently take that prop out from underneath you, place it to one side, maybe save it for later. So coming into this little tabletop, shoulders lightly over the wrists, hips are over the knees. You might want to take a couple of moments here just to send one leg back at a time, rocking the weight forwards and backwards just to get a little stretch down the back of the hamstrings, the calves here, after being curled up for a little bit of time. And you might feel that kind of rush of blood to those areas, maybe all the way down to the toes here. And when you're ready, transitioning over to the other side. And again, keep that rocking of weight forwards and backwards, also kind of warming up into the wrist here. As you send those shoulders slightly further over towards your fingertips, grip the mat a little bit more as we start to activate through the hands. Take another breath. As you exhale, let that knee fold underneath your hips, and let's begin to move through our cat and cow. Inhale, drop in the belly, shining the heart forwards, lift the tailbone, lift the chest. And as we exhale, moving towards that curve, tuck the tailbone under, tuck the chin towards the chest, reach out through the back of the shoulder blade. Let's repeat that a couple of times. Inhale, shining the heart forwards, gazing towards that horizon. Exhale, moving into your curve. And again, we just allow the breath to guide us, to take us there. Inhaling as you come into that lift. Exhale as you come into that curve. Let's repeat that maybe one more time, one more full round. Inhaling to lift. And exhaling to curve. Lovely, well done. From your curve, feel free to just send your hips back towards your heels for a moment, taking a little child's pose, getting that beautiful length across the spine. You might want to separate the knees slightly, allow the belly to kind of rest down towards the mat in between the thighs. Keep stretching the fingertips out in front of you. Take a breath here. Take an exhale. And then as you inhale, looking forwards towards your fingertips, glue the palms down towards the mat as you start to slide the belly forwards with control, coming to lie on your bellies on your mats. And then from here, let's bring the elbows underneath the shoulders, lifting the heart ever so slightly, keeping the legs slightly separated here just to protect our lower spine. Let the toes kind of fall out to the side, heels fall in. And just checking the distance by tapping our biceps here with the opposite hand. Just make sure those elbows are really nice and nestled in underneath the shoulders. Fingertips lightly press down towards the ground, and just think about sending shoulders down and away. And almost like you want to pull your heart through your arms here. Lifting the chin slightly. And again, feel free to bring a little bit of movement into the head and neck. Yogi's choice, as always, to bring in any extra little bit of flavor, a little bit of movement. Beautiful. Let's perhaps take one more breath in. One more breath out. And then keeping your Sphinx pose, just think about sending this left knee up towards the left side body. So you might need to walk it up a little bit higher. Just finding that place where we can target that left hip. And then again, if you feel like you've sent the left knee too high and it's a little bit too intense, maybe you slide it back slightly. Always take the time to adjust and settle into the posture, and then give the posture some space. So we pause for a few moments. The longer we stay in this posture, the more messages might come to us, The breath sends more signals. Perhaps we can soften that a little bit more. Beautiful. Let's take one more breath in. One more breath out. Gently send left leg all the way back. Maybe we bring the legs a little bit closer together. Allow the elbows to fall out to the side. Chest comes down towards the mat. And then from here, you're going to extend left arm all the way out to the side. And we're going to come into broken wing. So as we come into this, if it gets a little bit intense for the shoulder, feel free to bring that left arm a little bit closer towards the side of the body. Don't feel as though you have to stretch it straight out to the side here. Right palm is underneath your right shoulder. From here, push down through the right palm to gently roll your body over on towards the left. And maybe you step your right foot back behind you over towards that left-hand side. So feeling that stretch across the collarbone, across that left shoulder. Keeping right fingertips down towards the ground for a moment. Maybe taking a couple of breaths here. Thinking about rolling that right knee out towards the side. And if it feels okay for you, maybe we then think about stretching right fingertips up to the sky, further rolling that right shoulder back. And then maybe you'd like to wrap that right arm around your lower spine. So seeing if again we can further roll that right shoulder back, maybe sending the heart up to the sky ever so slightly. And again, taking a couple of breaths here. Beautiful. Bring right palm underneath your right shoulder again. Slowly roll back onto your bellies. Or slide left palm back underneath the left shoulder as you go. And then let's lift back into our Sphinx. So elbows arrive underneath the shoulders. Separate the legs slightly, heels falling in. Pulling the heart through the chest. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. And then repeating all of that on the other side. So right knee is going to slide up towards the right side body here. Walk it in a couple of times. Dropping the hips down towards the mat. And maybe we can think about sending the breath down to our hips. Notice what effect that has on the body. Allows the hips to perhaps open up that little bit more. Keep those shoulders down and away from the ears. Take another breath in. Another breath out. From here, let's slide right leg back behind us again, bringing the legs a little bit closer together now. Elbows fall out to the side, chest comes down towards the mat. Broken wing on the other side. So you're going to extend right fingertips out towards the right hand side. Push down through the left palm to gently roll you onto the right side body. Left leg is going to step back behind you. We come into that broken wing. Now again, as we arrive here, if we want to take it that little bit deeper, maybe we lift left fingertips up to the sky and wrap that left arm around your lower spine. Beautiful opening across the collarbone, stretching out through the shoulder. Lovely. Taking another breath in and another breath out. Okay. Slowly, without moving too abruptly, let's make our way back. So left palm lands back towards the mat. Control that roll over back onto your bellies. And then from here, palms the hands underneath the shoulders. See if we can lead with the tailbone as we push the body back. Let's come back into a little child's pose. So again, lengthening out through the spine. Maybe forehead meets the mat here. Take a breath. Take an exhale. And then as you inhale, just rolling up through the spine, stacking up bone by bone, coming to sit on your heels. Now, if you want to take that supported hero again, bringing back those blocks too, feel free to do so if this is uncomfortable for your knees or for your hips. Always modify should you wish. Let's inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Lovely stretch out here. As you exhale, simply cactus through the elbows. So draw the elbows down in line with your shoulders. Squeezing the elbows back behind you. Lift up through the heart. Maybe tilt the chin to look up towards the sky slightly here. Taking a beautiful inhale. Lovely exhale. One more inhale. As you exhale, rain the fingertips down, and then from here, you're going to fold forwards again. But you're going to think about threading right arm underneath the left. So right arm is going to thread towards the left-hand side. Gently bringing right shoulder down towards the mat. Again, separate the knees here. Maybe we keep stretching left fingertips forwards, pushing down through the left fingertips slightly to look underneath that left arm. Or again, similar to our broken wing, we might take left fingertips up to the sky and wrap the left fingertips around the lower spine. See if your fingertips can meet the inner hip crease on the right hand side. And again, let's just pause for a moment in our threaded child's pose, continuing to melt the hips back towards the heels. Lovely. One more inhale. One more exhale. Lovely. Releasing the left hand back down towards the mat. Push down through the left palm to unthread the right arm. And again, we come back to sitting on our heels. Keep the knees apart if you wish here. Sweep the arms forwards and up. Stretch it up. Exhale again. We find that cactus. Draw the elbows down in line with the shoulders and squeeze the elbows back behind you. Almost like you're squeezing a pencil in between your shoulder blades here. Take another breath in. Take another exhale. Raining the fingertips down. And then from here, folding forwards. Other side, left hand threads underneath the right. See if we can gently bring that left shoulder down towards the mat. Option here to continue stretching right fingertips forwards. Or maybe you lift right arm to the sky and wrap it around your lower spine. Lovely, well done. Okay. Maybe we can roll that right shoulder back just that little bit more. One more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, right palm lands back down towards the mat. Push down through that right palm to unthread the left. Rolling up through the spine, sitting back on your heels. Inhale, sweep the arms forwards and up. Exhale, draw the elbows down. Beautiful inhale here. Exhale, rain the fingertips all the way down. Now from here, and gently bring the fingertips maybe down towards the right. The left, keep the ankles over towards the left. So the right hip can kind of come down towards the mat here. And your heels are just towards the left. You're going to stretch left fingertips away from you, so reaching further out to the side beyond your toes here, and stretch right fingertips up and over, coming into a little mermaid stretch here. Beautiful side body stretch. And as you breathe here, as you take a lovely inhale in and that rib cage expands, maybe we can feel into that stretch a little bit more. Lovely. Take a lovely inhale and an exhale. Inhale, sweeping that right arm back up and over. Fingertips come down towards the ground just to gently lift the hips and swing the ankles round to the other side. So the heels come down towards your right hip, left hip down towards the mat. Stretch your right fingertips away from you. Inhale, sweep left arm up and over. And again, see if you can breathe into that left side body here. So noticing that moment the rib cage expands. And we further lengthen that left side body. Take a breath here. Take an exhale. Let's inhale, sweep left arm up and over. And then from here, let's just bring the soles of the feet out in front of you. Knees are pointing up to the sky. And then allow the knees to open out to the side so the soles of the feet come together. There's lots of options for this. As always, yogi's choice applies. So you might have the feet quite close towards you. You might opt to send them further away. For this, it might be quite nice to have like this wider diamond shape rather than coming into a deeper, intense stretch. You can incorporate your blocks here. I'm going to take hold of my big giant cushion here. I'm going to roll it up into a little bolster shape. So if you do have a bolster, that will work really nicely here. Placing whatever you have on the soles of your feet and then lifting up through the heart. Take a breath in As we exhale, let's just start to fold forwards, and you can turn the gaze to one side, bringing one cheek down towards your cushion. Lovely, well done. We're going to spend a few moments here, so make sure you are comfortable, you are cozy. Closing off the eyes and listen, observe. Maybe taking one more breath here. And then when you're ready, you might simply lift the head ever so slightly, turn the gaze to the opposite side to bring the other cheek down towards your cushion. So just making sure we're not crunching in one side of the neck or prioritizing one side. Again, seeing if whilst we're here we can send the breath down towards our hips. Few more breaths. Lovely. On your inhale, slowly start to rise back up. Lift the heart, roll up through the spine. Take your time. So with all these transitions, we're not rushing. Take it all the time in the world. Just place your cushion to one side, and depending on what kind of space you're in, you might want to turn to face the long edge of your mat. If you've got space either side of you, do feel free to stay where you are. But from your butterfly, you're just going to open the legs out into a straddle. Now, this doesn't have to be the widest straddle you can manage. Maybe bring the legs even a little bit closer in, taking your cushion, your props, and you might need to stack your props up. So if you have blocks, extra cushions, feel free to grab them now and just roll them up as many times as you can. Similar to what we did in our butterfly, take an inhale, lift up through the heart. Exhale, folding over, and you can give your cushions a little cuddle here. And it doesn't matter how far you're coming into the stretch, so really utilize the props that you have, stack them on top of one another, make it as high as you need it to be, so that when you fold over, you can soften into your prop, allow it to support you. And with every exhale, we might be able to just come that little bit deeper into the stretch. So it should feel like a comfortable stretch here. Nothing too intense. But of course, if you are kind of craving that intensity, do feel free to take it there, but it's not required for our practice today. Our practice today, we're just winding the body down after a busy, perhaps stressful day. So we don't need any extra pressure, any extra intensity. Take it easy. Making sure we can kind of release through the back of the neck. So you might be kind of turning the head from side to side again. Feel free to repeat that, making sure you've perhaps transitioned onto that other side. A few more moments in. Again, giving the posture a little bit of space, room to breathe. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Inhale, maybe use your fingertips to help you here. Push down through the fingertips to roll up through the spine, gradually getting taller and taller. Again, keep your cushion nearby, but we're going to transition to pigeon. So we're going to fold in our left knee, So your left shin is going to come down towards the ground. Walk the hands around to face towards the left leg, lengthening right leg back behind you. And again, take a few moments to adjust. So thinking about walking that left knee back, you might want to play with bringing the left ankle further forward again to come into a deeper stretch, your choice. And then having your cushion out in front of you and using your cushion to support your torso here. So as we fold and the forearms come down, the lower belly meets the mat. And again, we can turn the head from one side to the other, resting into our pigeon pose. One of my favorite stretches. So of course, spending a little bit more time here. So this is a quieter practice. You'll notice I'm not talking as much as I perhaps normally do. I know I like to talk a lot, but I really want to give you guys the space and time just to sink into each posture, each little stretch. If you're turning the head to one side, perhaps you'd like to transition across to the other side now. Perhaps one side feels a little bit better. You might decide you want to make your way back. That's totally fine as well. Perhaps staying for 3 more breaths. And on your next inhale, let's gently start to transition. We're going to make our way through a straddle onto the other side. So pushing down through the palms, lifting the chest all the way up. Take your time here. Come to sit the hips down, lengthening the right leg. Take your pillow with you as you go. And lengthening the left leg out to the side. So again, we come through our straddle here. And then bending into the right knee, walk your hands around, start to lift the hips away from the mat. And then lengthening that left leg back, finding your pigeon posture. Once you've found it, we can then take hold of our cushion again, fold it back underneath us, and then gently starting to make our way back down. Maybe turning one head to the side and thinking here. And just to say, if you're finding yourself kind of fidgeting around here, perhaps the mind is still feeling quite busy with lots of thoughts going on. I just want to say that's okay. It's a very human thing to happen, for the mind to wander. But if you notice that happening, keep bringing it back to the breath, listening back out for any messages, a message of calm, reassurance, comfort, letting you know that all is well here. If you haven't already, perhaps turning the head to the other side if you wish. Maybe 3 more breaths. And then ever so gently start to make your way out of the posture. Push down through the palms, lift the chest back up. And then from here, instead of making our way back through straddle, going to let the right hip fall down towards the mat. And then swinging left leg all the way around, soles of the feet down towards the ground. And then just bring your hands back behind you, leaning back into the hands, and just sway the knees lightly from side to side, just to ease out any tension that may be there in the hips. Just a couple of times, side to side. Lovely, well done. And then from here, perhaps letting the knees fall down towards the left. Walk your hands towards you, sitting the body up nice and tall. We are going to bring ourselves back down towards the mat in a moment, but just before we do, taking just a little bit of a twist, your left hand is going to come towards your right knee. Bring your right hand to the ground behind you and just see if we can sit up nice and tall, twisting round towards the right. And just imagining yourselves kind of wringing out the body of any toxins, any perhaps negativity, anything you feel you need to let go of in this moment. Let it go now. Take another breath in. Take another breath out. Inhale to unravel. Bring both hands again back behind you. Sway the knees across to the other side so the knees come towards the right. Let's repeat that on the other side. So lift in the torso. Right hand to the left knee. Left hand to the ground beside you. And again, sitting up nice and tall. Exhaling into that twist. One more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, unravel. And for a moment, let's just bring the knees to point up towards the sky, soles the feet down and towards the mat. Find your cushion again. If you've got a bolster, great. If you don't, again, maybe rolling your cushion into that kind of bolster shape. And you're going to place it back behind you, so it's going to support the length of your spine and the back of your head. So we're going to take a supported fish pose. So when you're ready, rolling down through the spine, hopefully finding your cushion. And of course, you can bring a couple of blocks in here too if you want to make it a little bit higher. Making sure the back of your head is definitely supported here. So try not to let the head just kind of hang back too much. Let the shoulders soften. So if you've got the knees still bent, pointing up to the sky, you might allow the knees to knock together. Feet might be mat distance apart. Or you might then opt to lengthen the legs, so stretching the toes to the bottom 2 corners of your mat. Letting the arms just rest down by your sides, the backs of the hands into the ground. Fingertips just naturally curling in here. Just easing ourselves into the final pose of our practice today. And again, we're going to stay here for a little bit of time. So if the mind wanders, which it probably will, always come back to the breath. Let the breath be easy, be soft, and in turn, the body feels soft here too. Notice how you feel supported and grounded by your mat here and by your props. Let the body just surrender, giving in to gravity, knowing we are safe, we are held here. So we can continue that process of letting go little by little, bit by bit, knowing that nothing else is required of you now, except to simply be here and breathe. Taking a few more slow and steady breaths here. Breathing deeply in through the nose, filling up the lungs entirely. Softly sighing out through the mouth. Perhaps two more of them. Big breath in. Big breath out. Maybe one more. And then when we're ready, we're slowly going to wind the body slightly back up again, not too much. But we're thinking about bending in the knees, pointing the knees back up towards the sky. Perhaps taking a breath in as you arrive here. And as you exhale, allow the body to roll towards one side, whichever side you choose, left or right. But just curling yourselves up a little bit as you roll off your cushion, off your props. Pause for a moment here. And then you're going to use your hands to gently bring you back up to seated. Now, as you come up to seated, take your time. You may find that you come into easy seats, or maybe you come back to kneeling. Feel free to use your cushion underneath your sit bones if you wish. Sitting up as tall as you'd like to be here. Let's just take a moment, palms of the hands on the knees. Again, soften those shoulders away from the ears. And let's seal our little wind down yoga practice, as we do with every practice, with the final blessing. May the sun bring you new energy by day. May the moon softly restore you at night. May the rain wash away your worries. And may the breeze blow new strength throughout your being. And may you walk through the world knowing its beauty all the days of your life. And with that, we bring the palms of the hands together in front of the heart. And we take a little bow, saying namaste. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I do hope you enjoyed that. Maybe you're feeling a little bit more grounded, perhaps ready for a nice long nap. And hopefully, maybe it's around the end of the day, so you'll sleep well tonight. So, and I hope you do. And I'll hope to see you next week, next Sunday, with another free class from me. I'll see you then. Mwah.